Look at this black bitch thinking she belongs here. You lost, honey? The maid's entrance is in the back. Derek Patterson holds up his big gulp and grins. It's 9:45 on a Tuesday morning at JR Enterprises, a luxury tech company where the lobby gleams with marble and glass. He dumps the entire drink over her head. Cola drenches the black woman completely. Hair, face, expensive coat. It splashes across the pristine floor. The other white receptionists scream with laughter. "Derek, best prank ever! Thought you were here to mop our toilets!" Wendy Anderson stands there, soaked and shaking. "I need to speak with management." Derek wipes tears from laughing. "Lady, you don't even belong in this building." 10 minutes from now, the company owner walks through that door. He sees what they've done, and he says 3 words that make their world collapse. "Look at this black bitch thinking she belongs here. You lost, honey? The maid's entrance is in the back." Derek Patterson holds up his big gulp and grins. It's 9:45 on a Tuesday morning at JR Enterprises, a luxury tech company where the lobby gleams with marble and glass. He dumps the entire drink over her head. Cola drenches the black woman completely. Hair, face, expensive coat. It splashes across the pristine floor. The other white receptionists scream with laughter. "Derek, best prank ever! Thought you were here to mop our toilets!" Wendy Anderson stands there, soaked and shaking. "I need to speak with management." Derek wipes tears from laughing. "Lady, you don't even belong in this building." 10 minutes from now, the company owner walks through that door. He sees what they've done, and he says 3 words that make their world collapse. Wendy takes a breath, forces herself to stay calm even though cola is dripping down her neck, soaking through her silk blouse. The coat alone costs $2,000. But that's not what hurts. What hurts is the laughter. The way these 3 young white people are looking at her like she's entertainment. "I'd like to file a complaint," she says. Her voice is steady, professional. "What just happened was assault." Ashley Morgan, the blonde receptionist, stops laughing long enough to lean forward on the desk. "A complaint? Do you even have an appointment here? I'm here to meet someone." "Uh-huh." Ashley's smile is pure condescension. "We don't usually get walk-ins from your part of town. This is a private building." Derek is already telling the story to Brittany Collins, the 3rd receptionist. He's making it sound even worse. "She literally walked in here like she was somebody important. I had to put her in her place." Brittany giggles. "That coat is probably fake anyway. Canal Street special." Wendy sets her bag on the counter. The movement is deliberate, controlled. If she loses her temper now, they'll call security. They'll say she was aggressive, threatening, everything they already assume about her. But as she sets the bag down, something catches the light. A keychain, engraved metal that reads, JR Enterprises, Executive Access. None of them notice. "Look," Ashley says, her voice taking on that fake sweet tone that makes everything worse. "I don't know what you think is going to happen here, but our managers are busy. Maybe you should just go home. Change clothes. Come back when you have actual business." 2 more employees walk through the lobby. Brad Mitchell, a white guy in his 30s wearing a polo shirt. Jennifer Thompson, an Asian woman carrying a coffee. They both stop. They see Wendy standing there, drenched in soda, facing 3 smirking receptionists. Brad catches Derek's eye. Derek mouths, "Crazy lady." Brad smirks and keeps walking. Jennifer hesitates just for a second. She sees the stain spreading across the marble, the way Wendy is trembling. Then she looks away and heads to the elevator. Nobody helps. The lobby is filling up now. It's almost 10 o'clock. More employees arriving for work, and Derek Patterson is loving every second of his audience. "You guys won't believe what just happened," he announces loudly. "This woman came in here acting like she owned the place." 8 people are in the lobby now. 9, 10. They're all looking. Wendy can feel every single pair of eyes on her ruined coat, her hair plastered to her head with sticky soda. She looks exactly how Derek wants her to look, humiliated, out of place. "I need to speak with Jonathan Reed," she says, louder this time. The lobby goes quiet for exactly 2 seconds. Then Derek starts laughing, really laughing, the kind where you have to bend over. "Jonathan Reed? You want to talk to Jonathan Reed?" Ashley is laughing too. "Oh my God, she's serious." "Lady," Derek says, wiping his eyes, "Mr. Reed is the CEO, the owner. He doesn't take meetings with random people who walk in off the street." "I'm not random. I need to speak with him." About what? Your little accident? Derek makes air quotes around the word accident. Because I already apologized. It was an accident. You saw it, right, guys? The other employees nod. Of course they saw it. They saw exactly what Derek wants them to have seen. Brittany leans on the desk. What company are you from, anyway? I'm not from a company. So you just walked into a tech company lobby looking to talk to the CEO? Ashley's voice is dripping with disbelief. That's not how this works. Wendy's hands are shaking harder now. She pulls out her phone, tries to make a call. It goes straight to voicemail. Honey, I'm in the lobby, she says quietly. Something happened. Call me back. Derek makes a show of looking shocked. Honey? Who's she calling honey? Brad, who's been watching from near the elevator, calls out, probably her pimp. The lobby erupts. Actual howling laughter. Jennifer Thompson is still standing there. She's not laughing. Her face shows something else. Discomfort, maybe guilt. But she doesn't say anything. Wendy ends the call, puts the phone away. She's trying so hard to maintain her dignity, but it's slipping through her fingers like water. I'd like to use your restroom, she says, to clean up. Ashley shakes her head slowly, like she's talking to a child. Restrooms are for employees and scheduled guests only. There's a McDonald's 2 blocks down. That's when something shifts in Wendy's expression. That's when the professional mask cracks just a little bit. You're denying me access to a bathroom? I'm telling you our policy. I was just assaulted in your lobby. I'm covered in soda, and you won't let me wash my hands? Ma'am? Ashley says, her voice taking on an edge. You're starting to sound aggressive. Brad steps closer. He's got his phone out now, too. You guys seeing this? Wendy looks around. Everyone has their phones out. They're all recording. She's going to be on TikTok by lunch. The angry black woman who came into a tech company and made a scene. That's the story they're already writing. Look at her shaking, Derek says. She's probably going to start screaming in a second. I'm not screaming, Wendy says, but her voice is louder now. She can't help it. I'm asking for basic human decency. Basic human decency? You came in here without an appointment, demanded to see our CEO, and now you're having a meltdown because we can't accommodate you? This is what they do. Wendy knows this. She's read about it, lived it. They push and push until you react, and then your reaction becomes the story. Not what they did, what you did. More employees are gathering. The morning shift is in full swing. There are at least 15 people in this lobby now, and every single one of them is watching Wendy Anderson fall apart. A voice cuts through the crowd. What's going on here? Connor Hayes, senior supervisor, white guy in his 40s wearing a button-down shirt and a company lanyard. He has the kind of authority that makes everyone straighten up a little. Derek jumps right in. Connor, thank God. This woman has been harassing us for the past 20 minutes. Harassing you? Ashley nods eagerly. She came in making demands, wouldn't leave when we asked her to, and now she's getting hostile. Connor looks at Wendy, takes in the soda stain, the wet hair, then looks back at Derek and Ashley like he's already decided who to believe. Ma'am, he says, walking toward her slowly, I'm going to need you to leave the premises. I'm waiting for someone. You don't have an appointment. You're causing a disturbance. Multiple employees have complained. Wendy's voice rises despite herself. A disturbance? Your employee threw a drink on me. That's not what I heard. I heard there was an accident and you overreacted. An accident. He called me a black bitch and dumped soda over my head. Connor's expression doesn't change. Ma'am, I'm hearing a lot of accusations, but I'm also seeing someone who's becoming increasingly aggressive. I'm not being aggressive. You're raising your voice. You're making staff members uncomfortable. You need to leave voluntarily or I'll have to call security. This is it. This is the moment where everything goes from bad to impossible. Derek sees his chance. She was taking pictures of us earlier, on her phone, without our permission. It's a complete lie. I saw it too, Ashley adds immediately. Brittany nods. Yeah, she was definitely recording us. Connor's hand moves to his radio. Ma'am, if you've been recording employees without consent, that's a serious violation. I didn't record anyone. Then you won't mind if security checks your phone. Wendy's breath is coming faster now. She's trapped. If she refuses, she looks guilty. If she complies, she's submitting to a search based on lies. I want to speak with Jonathan Reed, she says again. It's the only card she has left. I'm married to the owner of this company. My name is Wendy Anderson. The lobby goes completely silent. Then Derek loses it. He's laughing so hard he has to hold on to the desk. Oh my God, she's delusional. Married to Mr. Reed? Ashley looks at Brittany. Is she serious right now? Connor's expression hardens. Ma'am, making false claims like this is not helping your case. It's not a false claim. Jonathan Reed is married, Ashley says. She pulls up something on her computer. I've seen the pictures. His wife is a supermodel. She's been in Forbes, Vogue. She definitely doesn't look like you. The cruelty in that last sentence lands like a slap. Brad calls out from the crowd. Someone call the police. She might be trying to commit fraud or something. Good idea, Connor says. He nods at Ashley. Call them. Ashley picks up the phone. Wendy's voice breaks. Please, just wait. He'll be here any minute. Lady, Derek says, this isn't a fairy tale. Prince Charming isn't coming to save you. The employees are taking more pictures now, more videos. Wendy can see the TikTok captions already. Crazy woman pretends to be CEO's wife. Karen has a meltdown at tech company. Black woman tries to scam her way into building. She closes her eyes, takes a breath. She's been humiliated before. She's faced racism before. But this? Being called a liar when she's telling the truth? Being threatened with arrest in her husband's own building? This is a new level. Please, she whispers. Just 5 more minutes. Nobody's listening. 2 security guards push through the crowd. Tyler Brooks, a black man in his 30s wearing the company uniform. Diane Foster, a white woman with short hair and a no-nonsense expression. Connor immediately starts briefing them. His version of events is clean, simple, exactly what the guards need to hear to make this go away quickly. Unstable individual. Walked in without an appointment, assaulted a staff member, making false claims about being connected to the CEO, refused to leave when asked, possibly attempting identity theft or corporate espionage. Every single part of that is either a lie or a distortion, but it's what's in the report now. Tyler approaches Wendy. His voice is professional, but not unkind. Ma'am, I need to see some identification. Wendy's hands are shaking so badly she can barely get her wallet out. She hands over her driver's license. Tyler reads it. Wendy Anderson. Something flickers across his face. Recognition? Doubt? It's there for just a second. He looks at her more carefully. The expensive coat, even soaked with soda. The designer bag. The way she carries herself. We should call upstairs, he says to Diane. Verify. Are you serious? Diane cuts him off. Connor already tried. Mr. Reed is in transit. His assistant said no interruptions. This is another lie. Connor never called anyone, but Tyler doesn't know that. He hesitates, looks at his radio, looks back at Wendy. Ma'am, Diane says, stepping forward, you need to come with us. We're escorting you off the property. I'm not going anywhere, Wendy says. Her voice is quieter now, defeated. You're making a terrible mistake. That's what they all say, Derek mutters loud enough for everyone to hear. Brad is definitely recording now. He's narrating under his breath like it's a nature documentary. And here we see the corporate Karen in her natural habitat, about to get escorted out by security. People are actually laughing. Jennifer Thompson is still in the lobby. She's been standing near the elevator this whole time, watching everything unfold. She takes a step forward. Wait. Everyone looks at her. I just think, Jennifer says carefully, maybe we should double-check. She seems really certain and... Ashley cuts her off immediately. Oh my God, Jennifer, don't be naive. Look at her. Does she look like someone Mr. Reed would marry? The words hang in the air. The implication is crystal clear. Someone who looks like Wendy doesn't belong with someone like Jonathan Reed. Jennifer's face goes red. I didn't mean, I just think... You think too much, Brad says. Stay out of it. Jennifer shrinks back. She tried. For about 10 seconds she tried, but the social cost was too high. Her co-workers were turning on her. Better to be silent than to be associated with the problem. Wendy sees it happen, sees the one person who might have helped her decide it's not worth it. Tyler sees it too, and it makes his own silence feel heavier. Studies show this is exactly how discrimination thrives in workplace environments. It's not the overt racists who do the most damage. It's the people who know better but calculate that speaking up will cost them something, their comfort, their standing, their job security. In that moment, both Jennifer and Tyler made a choice, a small one. The kind that feels insignificant in the moment, but compounds into a culture where people like Wendy can be humiliated without consequence. Diane grabs Wendy's arm. "Let's go!" Wendy pulls away sharply. "Don't touch me!" "Now you're resisting security," Connor says. He sounds almost satisfied. "That's grounds for trespassing charges." "Call the police," Ashley says into her phone. She's already dialing. The crowd of employees has grown to more than 20 now. Everyone's watching. Everyone's recording. Not a single person is stepping forward to help. Wendy's voice cracks. "Please, he'll be here any second. Just wait." "Any second," Derek mocks her. "Lady, you've been saying that for 20 minutes. He's in traffic. He texted me." "Sure he did." "And I'm married to Beyonce." More laughter. Always more laughter. Wendy is surrounded now. Security on either side. Hostile employees in front. The glass doors behind her leading to the street, to escape, to anywhere but here. She could leave. She could walk out right now and avoid the police, avoid the arrest, avoid the final humiliation. But leaving means they win. Leaving means accepting that she doesn't belong here, that people like her don't get to stand their ground in buildings like this. So she stays. She stands there dripping with soda, shaking with rage and fear and humiliation. And she stays. Tyler is looking at his radio again. He's got that expression people get when they know something is wrong but can't quite articulate what. "Connor," he says quietly, "I really think we should verify before we... Before we what? Let someone who's clearly lying waste more of our time? Use your head, Tyler." And there it is. The subtle implication. Use your head. Do what you're told. Don't complicate this. Tyler goes quiet. Wendy closes her eyes. She's alone in a room full of people. She's telling the truth in a building full of liars. She's powerful in a space that only recognizes one kind of power. And that power is about to walk through the door. But she doesn't know if she can hold on long enough. Diane's radio crackles. "Security, this is front gate. Mr. Reed's vehicle just pulled into the executive lot." Time slows down. Wendy's eyes open. Connor frowns. He wasn't supposed to be in until 11. "Traffic must have been better than expected," the voice on the radio says. Derek and Ashley exchange a glance. They're not worried. Why would they be? This woman isn't actually married to their boss. That's insane. That's impossible. But Tyler notices something. He sees Wendy's expression change. The defeat disappearing. Something else taking its place. Hope. Through the glass doors, a black luxury SUV parks in the spot marked "Reserved J. Reed." The driver's side door opens. Italian leather shoes hit the pavement. Wendy straightens her spine. "You might want to step back," she says quietly. Nobody listens. The glass doors swing open. Jonathan Reed walks in, checking his phone. Casual Tuesday morning energy. 38 years old, white, wearing a suit that costs more than some people's cars. He's got the easy confidence of someone who built a tech company from nothing and turned it into an empire. He looks up from his phone, sees the crowd in his lobby, sees 20 employees standing around like they're watching a show. His expression shifts from casual to confused. Then he sees her. His wife. Standing in the center of his lobby, covered in soda, surrounded by security guards, shaking. The confusion becomes something else, something cold and dangerous. What the hell is going on here? Every single employee straightens up. That's what Jonathan Reed's voice does. It commands a room without trying. Connor immediately shifts gears. His voice goes from authoritative to obsequious in half a second. "Mr. Reed, sir, we have a situation with a trespasser who was..." Jonathan's not listening to Connor. He's looking at Wendy, really looking, taking in every detail, the wet hair, the ruined coat, the way her hands are trembling. His voice drops to something quiet, deadly calm. "That's my wife." The lobby goes silent, not the kind of silence where people are waiting to speak, the kind where everyone forgets how to breathe. Derek's face drains of all color. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Ashley's hands freeze on the reception desk. Brad's phone drops to his side. Connor just stands there trying to process what he just heard. Jonathan crosses the lobby in 5 long strides. His hands go to Wendy's shoulders, gentle but certain. "Are you okay? What happened?" Wendy's composure finally breaks. Her voice comes out shaky but clear. "I came to surprise you for our lunch meeting. I was assaulted, mocked, Denied basic human respect. They were about to have me arrested. Jonathan's jaw clenches so tight you can see the muscle jump. He turns slowly to face the crowd. "Someone," he says very quietly, "explain. Now." Connor stumbles over his words. "Sir, there was a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding? My wife is covered in soda. She's surrounded by security. Someone called the police on her. In my building." He pulls out his phone, dials without looking. "Cancel that police call immediately." Then he hits another number on speed dial. "Get me HR, legal, and my entire executive team in the main conference room. 5 minutes, non-negotiable. I don't care what they're doing." He turns to Derek, looks at him like he's seeing something disgusting. "You name." Derek can barely speak. Derek Patterson, sir. Derek Patterson, you threw a drink on a woman in my lobby? It was an accident, Mr. Reed, I swear. Don't lie to me. I can pull security footage in 30 seconds. Ashley tries to jump in. Her voice is desperate now. "Mr. Reed, she never identified herself. She didn't tell us who she was." Jonathan rounds on her so fast she actually flinches. "She shouldn't have to identify herself. She's a human being who walked into a building. That should be enough." His voice is rising now. Not yelling. Worse. The kind of controlled anger that's more terrifying than screaming. "She came to meet me, her husband, for lunch. And instead of being treated with basic courtesy, she was humiliated, degraded, threatened with arrest. By my own employees, in my own building." Brad tries to melt into the crowd. Too late. "You," Jonathan says, pointing at him. "You made a joke about pimps. I heard you." Brad's face goes white. "Sir, I didn't. Security footage, remember? We record everything." Jennifer Thompson is crying now, quietly. She's realizing she could have stopped this, should have stopped this. Jonathan sees her. "You started to speak up." Jennifer nods, tears streaming. "I should have done more." "Yes, you should have." He doesn't say it cruelly, just factually. "But you tried. That matters." Then he addresses the entire lobby, every single person. "What you just participated in is exactly what discrimination looks like. Some of you laughed, some of you recorded, some of you stayed silent when you knew something was wrong." He looks at Tyler. "You had doubts." Tyler nods slowly. "I thought we should verify first." "Then why didn't you?" "I should have trusted my instincts." "Yes, you should have." Jonathan puts his arm around Wendy. She's still shaking, still processing, still trying to hold on to her dignity even though she's been stripped of it repeatedly for the past half hour. "Connor," Jonathan says, "you're suspended, effective immediately." "Badge and radio." "Sir, I was following protocol." "You lied. You said you called my office. You didn't. Hand over your badge or I'll have security remove it." Connor's hands shake as he unclips his badge. The shame is written all over his face. He sets it on the desk and walks toward the exit without another word. "Derek, Ashley, conference room now." They don't move fast enough. "Now!" They scramble, both of them practically running to the elevators. Jonathan looks at Diane. "You tried to physically remove my wife." "Sir, I was just following orders." "Following orders? Where have I heard that before?" His voice is heavy with disgust. "We'll discuss your future with the company later." He turns to Tyler. "You stay. I want a full report of everything you saw." Tyler nods, relief and shame mixed on his face. Jonathan addresses everyone else one final time. "The rest of you get to work. But understand this. Today was a teaching moment. Today you learned what happens when good people stay silent, when bias goes unchecked, when power gets abused." He pauses, makes eye contact with several people in the crowd. "Some of you failed a basic human decency test this morning. We're going to talk about that. All of us, company-wide. Because if this can happen to my wife, it can happen to anyone, and I will not run a company where this is acceptable." The crowd disperses slowly, reluctantly. They wanted to see more, wanted the drama to continue. But it's over, at least the public part. Jonathan and Wendy head toward the elevators. His arm is still around her shoulders. She's leaning into him now, finally allowing herself to fall apart a little. "I'm sorry," he says quietly. "I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It is. I built this company. I built this culture. Or I thought I did. Clearly I was wrong." The elevator doors close behind them. In the lobby, employees are whispering. Phones are being put away. The show is over, but the consequences are just beginning. Derek and Ashley are standing in the conference room, visible through the glass walls, waiting. They know what's coming. Tyler is writing his report, hands still shaking a little. Jennifer is at her desk, staring at her computer screen, not really seeing it. Brad has already texted 3 people asking if they think he's going to get fired. And in the lobby, where cola is still drying on expensive marble, there's a sense that something fundamental just shifted. The facade cracked. The comfortable lie that this was a progressive, inclusive workplace just shattered. Because Wendy Anderson walked into this building and got treated like trash, not because she did anything wrong, because of how she looked. And everyone here just learned that actions have consequences. The conference room, glass walls that let the entire office see inside. Jonathan Reed sits at the head of the table. Wendy beside him changed into dry clothes from her car, but you can still see the damage in her eyes. Across from them, Patricia Wilson, HR director, 50-something black woman with glasses and an expression that could freeze fire. Stephen Carter, legal counsel, white, 40s, already taking notes like he's preparing for trial. The security footage plays on the big screen. Every word, every laugh, every cruel joke. Derek calling Wendy a black bitch, the intentional soda dump. Ashley denying bathroom access. Connor lying about calling Jonathan's office. Brad's pimp comment, all of it, captured in 4K. Patricia's face gets harder with every second. Stephen is shaking his head. When the video ends, nobody speaks for a full 10 seconds. "This is textbook hostile work environment," Stephen finally says. "We're looking at potential assault charges, defamation, civil rights violations. If she wanted to sue, she'd win." "I don't want to sue," Wendy says quietly. "I want this to never happen to anyone else." Patricia nods slowly. "Then we're talking about serious systemic changes. Not just firing a couple of people." "Fire them anyway," Jonathan says flatly. "Oh, we're absolutely firing them. I'm talking about what comes after." There's a knock on the door. Derek and Ashley are brought in separately. Derek first. He tries to smile, tries to use charm. "Mr. Reed, I am so incredibly sorry. If I had known—" Jonathan cuts him off. "You had no idea she was my wife, but you knew she was a person. You chose to humiliate her anyway. It was supposed to be a joke." "A joke? You called her a black bitch. You dumped soda on her head. You told her she should be cleaning toilets. What part of that was funny?" Derek has no answer. "You suggested she came from the ghetto, that her coat was fake, that she was here to see her pimp. These aren't jokes. They're racism, plain and simple." "I'm not racist." "Your actions say otherwise." Jonathan leans forward. "You're fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out. You have 30 minutes to clear your desk." Derek's face crumples. "Mr. Reed, please, get out." Derek leaves. He's actually crying. Ashley comes in next. She's already crying, makeup running. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Reed. I didn't know who you were." Wendy speaks before Jonathan can. "Would it have mattered if I was just anyone else? Would you have treated me differently?" Ashley opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again. I don't know." "That's the problem," Wendy says softly. "You don't know. You didn't think. You just assumed." Ashley's sobbing now. "I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I know I was wrong." "You denied me access to a bathroom," Wendy continues. "You called the police on me. You told your co-workers I was aggressive when I was the one who'd been assaulted. You lied multiple times." "I know. I'm so sorry." Patricia speaks up. "Ashley Morgan, you're terminated effective immediately. Same terms as Derek, 30 minutes. Ashley leaves, crying harder. When she's gone, Jonathan stands, paces. He's not done, not even close. "Schedule an all-hands meeting," he tells Patricia. "Everyone, no exceptions. I want every single employee on this call in 30 minutes. "Company-wide?" Stephen asks. "Company-wide." 30 minutes later, 234 employees are logged into a video call. Everyone from the lobby is there. Everyone who saw what happened. Everyone who didn't see but heard about it. Jonathan's face fills the main screen. He doesn't look angry anymore. He looks disappointed, which is somehow worse. Today, my wife experienced racism in our lobby. The call is dead silent. Let me be very clear about something. This isn't about her being my wife. This is about a black woman being treated as subhuman in a space where we claim to value inclusion and diversity. He plays an edited version of the security footage, 3 minutes of the worst moments. Gasps echo through the call. People who weren't there are seeing it for the first time. Derek Patterson and Ashley Morgan have been terminated. Connor Hayes is suspended pending further review. A message pops into the chat. Good. Another. They deserved it. Jonathan continues. But this goes deeper than 3 people. How many of you were in that lobby this morning? 12 hands raise on camera. How many of you said something? Actually intervened? 1 hand. Jennifer Thompson. 1 person out of 12. That's our real problem. He lets that sink in. This isn't about political correctness. This isn't about being woke. This is about basic human decency, about seeing someone in distress and choosing to help instead of pulling out your phone to record. Patricia takes over. We're implementing mandatory anti-bias training, and I don't mean a 2-hour PowerPoint you sleep through. I mean real intensive training, with accountability, with testing, with consequences if you don't take it seriously. Stephen adds, we're also creating an anonymous reporting system, independent review board, third-party investigators. If you see discrimination, you report it. If you experience it, you report it, and it will be taken seriously. Jonathan speaks again. I built this company on 3 principles: innovation, integrity, inclusion. Today we failed on 2 out of 3. We showed no integrity, we showed no inclusion. That ends now. He pauses, looks directly at the camera. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm interested in accountability. We failed today. I failed because I built a culture where this could happen, where my own employees felt comfortable enough to treat someone this way in our lobby. Someone in the chat asks, what about people who stayed silent? Good question, Jonathan says. To everyone who watched and did nothing, here's what happens now. You get 1 chance. 1. You attend the training. You examine your own biases. You do better. Because next time, silence won't be an option. The meeting ends. The call disconnects. In the conference room, it's just Jonathan, Wendy, Patricia, and Stephen again. Will this actually change anything? Wendy asks quietly. Patricia looks at her seriously. That depends on whether we follow through. Training alone never works. It's training plus consequences plus culture shift plus leadership commitment. Then we follow through, Jonathan says. Whatever it takes. Stephen closes his laptop. I'll draw up the new policies, independent review board charter, reporting system framework. We'll have it ready in 48 hours. They're not done, not even close. But it's a start, 3 months later. The JR Enterprises lobby looks different. Not in obvious ways. The marble is still pristine, the glass still gleams. But something fundamental has shifted. There's a new installation on the main wall, large letters. Innovation, integrity, inclusion. Below it, smaller. We don't just say it, we live it. The reception desk has new faces. Training materials are visible. A QR code on the desk links to the anonymous reporting system. It's not just performative, it's structural. Jennifer Thompson walks through the lobby carrying her coffee. She's wearing a lanyard that says D&I Committee. She's not just on the committee, she leads it. It was Jonathan's idea. Take the person who tried to speak up and give her the power to actually make changes. She's taken it seriously. Monthly audits, staff surveys, regular town halls where people can voice concerns without fear of retaliation. Tyler Brooks is here too, head of security now. He's training new guards on bias awareness, teaching them the same lesson he learned the hard way. When something feels wrong, trust that instinct. We don't just follow orders, he tells the new recruits. We think, we verify, we protect everyone, not just the people we think belong here. Patricia Wilson's HR department has expanded. 2 new team members hired specifically for inclusion work. They're not checking boxes, they're changing systems. The anonymous tip line has been used 47 times in 3 months. Not all serious. Some petty grievances. But 3 legitimate cases of discrimination caught early and addressed before they escalated. That's the point. Catch it early. Address it. Don't let it fester. But what about Derek and Ashley? Derek Patterson lost his job, had trouble finding a new one. His name is attached to that video now. It went viral, just like he feared, but not in the way he wanted. His social media went dark for weeks. Then, 6 weeks after getting fired, he posted something. A real apology. Not the, I'm sorry if you were offended kind. The, I was wrong and I'm working to understand why kind. He's in community workshops now. Racial justice training. Not because anyone forced him, because he's starting to understand what he did. Redemption isn't guaranteed. He doesn't deserve forgiveness just because he's learning. But he's learning. That matters. Ashley Morgan followed a similar path. Fired, blacklisted, 6 weeks of silence. Then a LinkedIn message to Wendy. Private, not public virtue signaling. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect you to respond. I'm in therapy. I'm examining why I behaved that way. Why I saw you and immediately made assumptions. Why I felt threatened by your presence. I'm listening to black women. Reading, learning. I'm not asking you to absolve me. I'm just telling you that I'm doing the work. Wendy hasn't responded yet. Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. That's her choice. Because here's the truth about redemption. It's not owed. It's earned. And it's not earned for the benefit of the victim. Derek and Ashley's futures aren't Wendy's responsibility to secure. Wendy herself is different now, too. She's at a women's leadership conference, keynote speaker, 500 people in the audience. What happened to me wasn't unique, she says from the stage. It was just filmed. It happens every day, in lobbies, break rooms, elevators, meetings. The question isn't, what would you do if you were me? The question is, what are you doing when you're the witness? She's become an advocate, not by choice, really, but because staying silent felt like betraying everyone else who'd experienced the same thing without cameras rolling. She and Jonathan established a scholarship fund, Full Ride for Black Women in Tech. It's already funded 5 students. Final scene, Wendy walks through the JR Enterprises lobby. Different day, different clothes, no soda this time. The new receptionist smiles. Good morning, Mrs. Reed. Good morning, Sarah. Your meeting starts in 10, conference room B. Wendy's not here to visit Jonathan. She's here for her own meeting. She serves on the company's board of directors now, advisory role, focused on culture and inclusion. She walks past the place where she stood 3 months ago, humiliated, soaked, alone. Now she's walking through with her head high, not because her husband owns the building, because she refused to accept that she didn't belong. Wendy's story ended with accountability, real consequences, systemic change. But thousands of stories don't end that way. Every single day, someone walks into a space where they're presumed not to belong. Every day, witnesses choose silence over solidarity. Every day, power gets abused until someone decides it won't anymore. Here's the real question. Which side of the story are you on? When you see injustice, will you be Derek? Will you laugh and record? Will you be Ashley enforcing invisible rules about who deserves respect? Will you be Connor protecting the system instead of the person? Or will you be Jennifer? Imperfect, late to speak up, but willing to try. Will you be Tyler, recognizing when something's wrong and wishing you'd trusted that instinct sooner? The only way culture changes is when we collectively decide it must. So decide. Comment below. Have you witnessed workplace discrimination? What did you do? Share this story with someone who needs to understand what microaggressions really feel like. And if you believe dignity is non-negotiable, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories about justice, power, and the courage to stand up when it matters most.